Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My name is Jamal Turk. On behalf of Human Appeal, I'd like to thank the organizers of this award. Jazakumullah khair. We in Human Appeal, we are concentrating on relief work in 25 countries around the world, mainly Syria, Gaza, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Iraq, about 20 countries around the world. We collectively, our offices in the UK, United Arab Emirates, Australia, Ireland, collectively we managed to sponsor nearly 80,000 orphans around the world. This is the grace of Allah. I concentrate on work on mosques, and this is part of my interest to work with imams, scholars, and mosques. Working with the mosques, alhamdulillah, it is grace of Allah, but so many problems are there, and to be honest with you, there is nobody, no umbrella organization stood out to tackle the real problems in our society in mosques. I'd like to highlight this issue in front of you, and inshallah ta'ala, one day someone or a group of people will stand up to discuss this issue in depth. Mosques are separate entities. Some imams, mashallah, they consider the mosque is their kingdom, and they have the supreme power in the mosque. Nobody can challenge them. And we as a charitable organization, we have to deal with this thing. Other mosques, they challenge us as a charity. Is it 100%? Is it 125%? Or 128%? Or you take this percentage or that percentage? We have to educate our community about so many things. And recently, in addition to all the discussion about the 100%, now this morning I got a question: what is your aqidah? This is new. Haven't been approached by this new question. So the idea that we as community leaders, we have to address these issues in the community and be brave enough to educate our community. This is in brief. With regard to the award, inshallah ta'ala, the person nominated for this award is brother Yunus Dahtawala and Rehanah Sadiq.
Take the slide? I'm fine, sweetheart. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah be praised, because praise all belongs only to Him and to no other. What we have between us as brethren. What we have is the love of one another that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put between us, because He created Adam and Eve. And from the twain, He spread multitudes of people, and we are that family. Whether we are Muslim or whether we are not, we are that family. So praise be to Allah. For me to be given an award, well, I didn't know how hard it was to accept an award until now. I still don't understand it. And then my colleagues at work in chaplaincy have been great, encouraging me and telling me and reminding me, and most of these were non-Muslims, reminding me for what reason I was coming. It wasn't an award for myself at all. It was in fact an award. I come here humbly accepting it on behalf of others. And those others are the people. Those others are those who strive for one another. Those others are those people who, with the pure intentions in their hearts, go to one another to do the good deeds that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to do, with those intentions for Him alone. Makes me really, really happy today that BISCA, mashallah, didn't exclude women. I'm glad they remembered us. And it's something to do with the future, I hope, inshallah ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is clear in the Quran when He speaks to men and women. And we are partners, working for the same thing, for His goal. I cannot accept this award without saying that first and foremost, I owe it to my mother, the one who prays for me continuously and says all the time, "Oh, Rehanah, you do too much," and worried all the time. Without her prayers, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do, and yet I still feel there is much more to be done. And then my husband, subhanallah, before I married him, and I didn't know him really before we got married, one of the criteria for me, and this is 30 years ago now, was I was looking for a husband who did not believe that the male or the Muslim, the husband, should live in the four walls of a mosque while his wife lived in the four walls of her home. I was an active Muslim, and that's the way I am still today. And I needed a husband who was going to be able to respect that and help me through it, which he has. And bless his dear heart, he is the one who has to listen to all the moans and the groans that other people don't know about me. And then my children, who were forced to learn to cook by the age of 11 because they knew that their mother wasn't always going to be around to be able to feed them. Bless them, may Allah bless them. And then of course, all my friends, my family, who very patiently accept that they don't see me as much as I should. Allah bless them for not complaining. And those people who nominated me, for goodness sake, I don't know who did and why they did, but still, subhanallah, for them that did do that, to you, mashallah, may Allah bless you for your thought and your kind consideration. And I cannot forget chaplaincy. My colleagues, Muslims and non-Muslims, nationally and locally in Birmingham, where I have come from today, subhanallah, they have been an inspiration to me in my work, and the patients and the families, because subhanallah, do you know, when you go to see a patient and they are so happy that you came to them, la ilaha illallah, they make dua for you. They remember you, apart from the angels that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already promised that will be praying for us all the day or all the night. But they pray for you. So I thank them, and it goes to them. And lastly, just to say to you that we live in a dynamic world. We live in a world where we have to adapt to change. Chaplaincy is one of those things where I have learnt incredible things about our Muslim ummah today. And we have to remember that we cannot treat everybody in the same way that we think we can. 30 plus years ago, when I first started to practice Islam, it was different. 20 years ago, it became even more different. 10 years ago, it was even more different. And now, subhanallah, I can never assume when I see somebody called Muhammad or Abdullah that he is a Muslim. We have to understand we live in a very dynamic and changing world, but it is a beautiful world if we but wish to see that beauty in it. Because with every challenge, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the himmat, the ability to be able to take that on board. Forgive me for my lengthy thank you, but jazakumullahu khairan for all that you all do. Jazakumullahu khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.